point of view is environmental, social, and economical. We all need to really balance all of this. Little bit introduction about ourselves, what we do. We really focus on how do we increase energy efficiency of solar system. So in another word, a solar system is an energy efficient system, but how efficient they are when they are operating in the field. We are a technical advisor and engineering solution provider operating for last 16 years. And we have provided different services into different countries, over 11 gigawatts. So we focus on value engineering, owners engineering, or in another word, technical due diligence, and how do we increase optimization of existing solar asset driven by some algorithms. In today's terminology, they call AI and machine learning algorithms. The core strength really for us is our team and people like you. And that help us to form some global partnership across different landscape in Asia and in Europe. We mainly focus on, as a company, on solar technologies, any form of solar, whether from commercial and industrial sector to utility scale ground mounted system to floating solar. When it comes to energy storage, it comes with either integrated with solar or existing other renewable infrastructures. Climate solutions. In my point of view, spending so much of time and having seen so many scenarios in the landscape of our Earth, the biggest solution, I think, is we are not very good friend of our nature. We're not taking care of our nature. And because of that, there are a lot of catastrophic situations are happening. I'll give you really just to a very quick snapshot of perspective of different scenarios that we see more frequently. This is a scenario in the UK, and this is very frequent. You can see the graph on the bottom left corner of the screen, how widely spread that. Almost more than 50% actually cover these flood warnings. And this is not just happening in 1 year, it's happening very frequently. So event of these climate events are happening more frequently in last 10 years or so. Complete opposite side, drought in Africa. It's just a different spectrum. Number of lives that we see there dying, it's heartbreaking. Fire in Australia. Look at the scale of it. Millions and millions of people and animals were struggling. And look at the size of it. I mean, how these fire trucks will stop this? And look at the map, how widely spread they are. Again, they're very frequent. Temperature rise in Europe. We all know Europe is known for colder countries. And temperature rise for last 5-6 years, it's more than alarming. Last year, UK temperature went up to 40+ degrees. These countries are, forget about just the UK, any countries of these extreme conditions, we are not equipped with to cope with. What this fireman will do with a fire like this is happening. So it's not really developed country or developing country definition is in here. Everyone, we are known when these catastrophes happen. 26th of December 2004, Chennai. Some of you may remember tsunami strike, 8 o'clock in the morning. I feel extremely lucky standing in front of you, talking about this, showing this picture. I could have died. 8 hours ago, I was there. Just instantly, nearly 2.5 lakhs people died. Temperature rise, we talk about 1.5 degree temperature rise, is approaching very fast. We are talking too much. We're not doing actions. to match with what we talked. It could really hit anyone, anywhere, anytime. We are thinking that, yeah, nothing is happening. Probably, I still hear some people actually talking about climate change is coming. Too late. So my appeal would be, please wake up. 100% renewable is possible. Obviously, there are a lot of dependency, whether on solar or wind or hydrogen or energy storage, purely from intermittency of renewable energies. There are technologies available. So technology is not really a challenge. Challenge is our mindset. How do we address this? So 100% renewable is absolutely possible. And moving more towards solar technologies, this is just a global perspective of how solar deployment is happening and what is the projection is looking like. So you can see how exponentially this is increasing, and you can see the growth of this deployment is increasing in Asian market, and this is to reflect industrialization is happening in Asian market. So it's more of socio-political link to it. But solar is growing. We need even faster growth. I'll talk a little bit about different solutions here, more specific to solar technologies and energy storage and solar EV charging infrastructure project with touch base on solar hydrogen, green hydrogen concept. So when it really comes to design engineering, it's not just the engineering element. I always say to all engineers, including myself, that if we do fancy things in engineering, but without commercial element to it, then engineering will stay on your table. So how do you really nurture your solutions for the best value for the market? Because otherwise the decision will not be taken to take it forward. Due diligence or owner's engineering, it's quite critical to make sure the system that you're deploying, they would be there for 20, 40 years and would be performing to the level that you're expecting. That is why due diligence is quite important. Sometimes for whatever the reason, this not get high focus, but it has a greater value to life of those projects, which ultimately give you more green energy resource available, offsetting fossil fuel in the market. Few case studies I'll briefly go through. This is one of the examples of 40 plus megawatt in the UK that we did. Another one in Romania, 150 plus megawatt. Another one in New Zealand, above 180 megawatt. And a smaller one, 10 megawatt in India. Landfill. So you might be hearing that solar deployment is taking some risk or giving some threat to food crisis. Agricultural land are utilized. There are a lot of land are available. They are not necessarily good land for agriculture. Landfill is one of the examples. So there are some technological challenges, but there are some solutions that are available as well. So we need to keep our mind open and really focus on how do we get 100% renewable for our better life tomorrow. PV APM, PV asset performance management. So that's beyond traditional operational maintenance and traditional asset management. So you might be hearing AI and machine learning, but what they are simple mathematical formulas, very specific to particular sector, particular applications. So we have developed these algorithms over many years, over nearly 20 years of time going through academia to industry and validation, etc. So what it does is really increase an efficiency of an energy efficient system by doing condition monitoring and health check at a very granular level. And the outcome of that would improve decision-making process more financially and commercially. Few case studies in India when we looked at one 300 megawatt portfolio on the left and going through the full cycle of exercise that has resulted 10% uplift in generation. Another example from Europe with average 8% uplift. So underperformance of existing solar system, it's a global problem. And we can tell that from our own experience looking into different portfolio into different markets. It's a global problem. Question is, how do we address it? If we don't do it, it will end up a concept called repowering or revamping that will cost more. So you're paying double. So going back to the previous point, due diligence is very important, value engineering very important, and smarter optimization, smarter asset management is necessary. Otherwise, you pay double to your system for the lifetime of the project. And that involves various mechanism of different testing and commissioning, etc., and including me doing some inspection on site. And that's the beauty of it. You learn every day, no matter how much you have done, but you learn every day. Few examples of PV APM, couple of 50 megawatt project in Rajasthan, a rooftop project in Switzerland, another 20 megawatt project in UK. Now, when it comes to energy storage, you might be hearing it's too expensive, etc., etc. So this is where you come into picture. How do you make those systems more cost effective? How do you optimize different systems? So this tool would help to do a techno-commercial viability of a commercial industrial project integrating solar and energy storage by looking into the load profile of an industry, how much space they have, how much solar can be installed, how much solar offset you can do, and then if there is a commercial viability of a battery storage that can be tested. Now, when we run our EVs, you might be feeling very excited that I'm running an electric vehicle not polluting, but it is polluting when it was charging somewhere. So it's not really net zero, it's more of a zero emission. So that's why we developed a concept called solar powered EV charging infrastructure project integrated with energy storage. Now, that energy storage comes with two forms, whether battery storage or hydrogen at this stage. It could be deployed as a rooftop or for carport system. Like I said, energy storage comes into twofold. So this is one of the examples we did back in 2012. Solar system producing electricity, powering to an electrolyzer, producing green hydrogen, and it has got multiple applications, whether you use for power to gas to power, getting electricity back using fuel cell, or use that as a transport system. So depending on different scenarios, it can have different applications. Another example, one of the perhaps the largest e-commerce company, and they were transiting towards net zero. So solar power on the rooftop and then carport system. Another case study we did on ISC campus in Bangalore. It's a very small system, perhaps the smallest system that we ever built. But the concept really is producing solar energy and charging these vehicles, whether two-wheelers, four-wheelers, or three-wheelers. And this particular project is quite interesting because that happened during COVID time. And without even a single travel from UK, we have deployed this using local supplier, local installer. Another example we did a couple of years ago, UK Embassy in Chennai. Very similar concept. And it is very modular, whether you can go with the bigger system or you can do with the fast charger or you can do with the slow charger, depending on your user profile that you wanted to deploy for. For me, really, technical solutions are available in the market, and they have been available in the market for many years, but we still have those problems, those climate crises. In my mind, really, the most important solution is you all. How do you make your next step? Solutions are available. How do you use it? We have been talking too much. We're not putting those talks into actions. It is you who can make this difference. With this, I'd really like to join you all to really create a better world for tomorrow so that we all live peacefully. As I said, it can strike anytime, any day, anywhere. So let's work together. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts.